I created G-plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
Hello, and welcome to another nutrition masterclass. My name is Savannah, nutritionist here at G Plans. I'm so glad you've joined me today. See a few people checking in already. Glad you're here. So I know we're right ahead of the Labor Day weekend, so it sounds like you'll have some fun plans. A beach trip. Ashley said she's canning jalapenos and applesauce. That is awesome and sounds really good. Sandy is gonna go to Lake Bronson with family. I see Scott checking in. Good to see you again. And then, okay, cool. So Sandy said this is also her second masterclass. I'm so glad you're enjoying them. Glad you're back. So today we're going to have a really good topic. We're going to cover some ultimate hacks to really losing weight and ultimately keeping it off for good. So what we'll be covering today, it's going to be some key strategies, some key habits and things that are trends that research has shown those who are able to maintain their weight for a longer period of time generally are doing some of these habits that we're going to cover today. So we're going to dive in and go over that. Please remember, as always, you can go ahead and add any questions you may have throughout today's presentation in the chat box. And then I'll also provide my email address today as well if you'd like to contact me that way. So we'll dive right in here. All right. Okay, so today's topic is, again, the ultimate hacks to really losing weight and keeping it off for good. All right. Okay, so here's a little bit overview of what we'll cover today. We're going to have an introduction to what we'll be discussing. Next, we're going to talk about specifically what causes us to regain weight after we've lost it. Then we're going to start diving into some of those ultimate hacks for weight loss. I'm going to stop kind of in the middle there and then ask you a question kind of about your healthy habits. And then we'll end up kind of wrapping everything up with some overall strategies that you really want to focus on for long-term weight maintenance. And then the very last thing we'll do is have our tip of the week there. Okay. All right, so as I mentioned, again, feel free, if you have questions throughout today's presentation, go ahead and add those in the chat box. And if you have something else maybe you'd like to reach out to me personally about, feel free to do so. My email is there on the screen for you. All right. Okay, so diving right in, tell me, have you ever lost weight in the past only to find that maybe after a while on the diet or when you stopped the diet, you gained it back pretty quickly? You're definitely not alone there. Research has found that a lot of diets, most diets, are not successful over the long run. And why is that? Part of the reason, big part of the reason, lies in the fact that if something is not sustainable, it's not realistic to continue over an extended period of time. So, how do you then lose the weight and keep it off for good? Today we're going to discuss the most important factors to consider to help you lose weight and then maintain that weight loss more permanently. All right, so first things first, what causes lost weight to be regained? These are some of the biggest factors here. Number one is going to be overly restrictive plans. So when you follow a plan or a diet that is very restrictive, It can lead to, at first you might see some pretty quick weight loss. However, following an overly restricted plan for a longer period, it can cause your metabolism to adapt by slowing down. And in addition to that, those types of plans, they're not going to help you to learn the right ways to eat to ultimately maintain your weight long term. With that being said, the second piece here is not focusing on building healthy habits. Many diets are focused more on willpower rather than creating healthy habits that you can incorporate into your daily life. Building habits and a balanced routine that really works for you, this is essential to maintaining a healthy weight. So again, those really restrictive plans that you can't follow for too long, again, they don't help you to build those healthy habits, and they don't help you to learn how to change your routine in your daily life so that you can keep that weight off. And lastly here is not having the right mindset. So when you think of a diet as more of a quick fix rather than a lasting change to your lifestyle, to your health, this could lead to discouragement and prevent weight maintenance. And what that means is, again, when you go into it, and again, you're maybe too focused on the scale alone, you're not noticing those non-scale victories and other positive changes that are happening. What can happen is over time, you can fall a little bit discouraged and maybe not notice all the great changes that are happening. And this can kind of lead you to falling off track and seeing your weight regained. All right, so diving in here, again, some of these, what we'll be discussing here, our research has really shown some of these things we'll be covering are key indicators, big strategies that are important in those that are maintaining their weight over a long period. So first factor here is going to be staying active and exercising regularly. So notice those are both kind of two different things as well. So we need to incorporate, of course, daily activity, movement through our daily lives, and exercise, which is more of a set amount of time that you may be exercising, of course, a little more of an intense level than your activity during the day. Studies have shown that individuals who get at least 30 minutes of actual exercise each day are more likely to maintain their weight. In addition to an exercise routine, again, consider that daily activity, the amount of steps you're taking during the day, as this will also help to balance your calories in and calories burned. So again, this is a big factor that research has shown. If you are consistent with that exercise, again, shooting for ultimately about 30 minutes a day, and then also doing things like monitoring your daily activity. So maybe tracking your steps, shooting to increase them bit by bit, all very helpful things for long-term weight maintenance. Next is going to be eating meals at regular intervals. So healthy habits like eating breakfast is a big one, and eating at regular times during the day. These have also been associated with long-term weight maintenance. So these are some other things, again, that studies have shown when you're eating very consistently, you're eating regularly, this does help you out. We know also that it can help you, of course, when you're eating more consistently. This can help to prevent you from feeling starving later on, maybe eating a little larger portion. And then last one here is focusing on consistency first. So when you think of a diet, again, as more of that quick fix, that temporary solution, rather than a lasting change to your lifestyle, this could kind of get you discouraged. So focus on building that consistency, building those healthy habits, and building into your routine what's going to work for you. So remember too, when I say be consistent, there's always going to be times when you do fall off track, no matter how diligent you are in focusing on your plan. It's gonna happen. So big thing there is to know it happens, learn from what happened, and then just get right back on track. So even if you have a few slip-ups here and there, and it will happen, when you jump right back on board and you stay consistent overall, it's going to help you to see better progress and better weight management long term. So at this time, tell me a little bit about you. Thinking about your weight loss, your health journey, what is one healthy habit that you have built that has now become a very regular part of your routine? So again, we know the key to very lasting weight loss results and overall health, it is building those habits that work for you. So again, love if you share with me in the chat box right now, what is a healthy habit that you've built that is now ingrained into your routine? I'd love to check those out later. All right, so continuing here. Next big one here is going to be tracking your progress. So continuously monitoring your weight and progress through regular check-ins, measurements, or journaling, taking note of non-scale victories. This can help you to take note of those small gains and make changes to your routine if needed. So this is another factor that's been shown in those that are really successful with long-term weight management. They do track their progress. They weigh in regularly, but also, again, take note of those non-scale victories, measurements, and other forms of progress as well. Next one here is rest and recovery. So again, we know of sleep and stress management. They're very important for our health, but building healthy habits to manage stress better, prioritize better quality sleep, there's also very essential to help you maintain your weight long term as well. It's going to help keep your energy levels up and hormone levels under control. So we do see that studies have also shown that when you do get less rest, you are less rested, you're more likely to actually eat more during the day, and you're more likely to even reach for maybe more processed foods, more foods high in sugar, and then when you're stressed, so those stress hormones can definitely affect you, increase cravings. So focusing on an overall routine for health, doing what you can to focus on quality sleep and stress management, again, are very essential here too. And last thing is setting goals that are smart. So this is something we've talked about quite a bit here, and it's so important. So when you set goals regularly and you ensure that they make sense for you, setting those regular goals is really going to help to push you forward. Even again, if these are very small goals, and that's really what we want. So the SMART acronym again is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So set those small, realistic goals, because again, those little baby steps, little progress forward, pushing you forward is a great way to keep you going and keep you on track. All right, so kind of wrapping it up here, the overall strategies for long-term weight maintenance. Number one, focus on sustainability overall. So fad diets and extreme changes, they might lead to results more in the short term, but if you're looking to stop this cycle of yo-yo dieting and you want to maintain a healthy weight, first focus on what is most sustainable. So if you make a change, ask yourself, is this something that I can really permanently or lasting build into my routine on a longer basis? So with that being said, whenever you set a goal and whenever you make a change, it's going to be tough in the short term. So don't feel like just because something is challenging that it won't work for you. However, Make that effort to find those healthy habits, those changes that you can build in your routine. And again, really focus on what can be a change you can stick with. Next is understand that weight management is more than just making changes to your diet alone. When weight maintenance and overall health is your goal, it's important to understand that focusing just on changing your diet is not going to help to get you there. If you neglect things like physical activity, rest and recovery, stress management, or hydration, your health can suffer, and you may find it also more challenging to maintain your weight loss. Remember that maintaining your weight long term, it requires a commitment also to a healthy lifestyle. And last thing here, like we touched on, build those healthy habits into your routine. So ultimately reaching a healthy weight and keeping the weight off comes down to building healthy habits and finding what works for you and your routine. Once you build those healthy habits, they become a part of your lifestyle over time. And so then once they're built in, it's easy to just kind of keep in the flow and keep them going. So again, remember, when you're building that habit, you're building that routine, it's going to be a little more challenging, but once you've worked that in, it's a part of your daily habit, it becomes a lot easier to go with the flow. All right. And very last thing here for today is the tip of the week. So again, going over what we've discussed today, a lot of things research have shown that if you want to maintain your weight long term, these are the best things to focus on. Another big one is making sure that you eat breakfast every day and making sure that you eat enough protein as well. So make sure, big tip for right now is focus on a protein heavy breakfast. Eating enough protein and having breakfast, a couple of the most common behaviors reported by individuals who are very successful at maintaining their weight. So go ahead, set yourself up for success. Ensure that you get a protein-packed breakfast and try to shoot for that within about an hour of waking up. So this does bring me right now to the end of our presentation. So if you have some other questions, go ahead and add those in the chat box right now. All right. All right. I'm going to pull up some of your questions here. Okay. All right. So I see Ashley says she's not too great right now about eating breakfast. And yes, I would say, Ashley, that is a big one. So it'll help you out a lot. Again, like we just mentioned for the tip of the week, getting that protein heavy breakfast. And again, ideally, we do want to shoot for that within about an hour of you waking up. That, in research studies, it actually showed that in general, people who do have breakfast more often generally also have more healthy habits kind of built throughout their day. So it really does kind of help you get started on the right foot and set that tone for the rest of your day as well. All right. Sandy said, I can't eat a full meal before work, so I eat a banana on my way and then eat my meal at work. Sandy, that's a great note. So one thing we'll do a little bit here at G Plans too, when working with clients, is we'll kind of manipulate your meal plan, move things around a little bit. You can feel free. I don't know if you're currently on G Plans. You will see you have kind of that mid-morning snack. And if it works best for you, maybe some days or some of the time, if you can have your meal a little sooner by having your snack instead, you can go ahead and do that snack before your breakfast. So you might want to kind of space things out a little further after that point. Again, we want you eating about every 4 hours during the day. But I would suggest too, with that banana, kind of add in some nuts, some peanut butter, something that's going to complete that snack and make sure you have some protein and extra fiber there as well too. All right. And then Pamela says, I bike ride every Thursday with my sister. That is awesome. Talked a lot too about support and how important it is. And having an exercise partner is awesome because it makes it, again, a little more fun. You have somebody to talk to and somebody you're doing this with, doing it together. So that's awesome, Pamela. Eileen says she's been focusing on drinking water, getting exercise, and then great, awesome. Ashley says she's working on drinking at least 64 ounces of water a day. Awesome job getting that done, Ashley. That's great. Okay, and then Pamela also said here, in addition to her bike rides, she lifts weights 4 days a week. So great job. That's a really good balanced routine. So you're getting, of course, your cardio with your bike riding, and then that focus on weight training 4 days a week as well. Great job. Okay, and then Sandy said too, she's getting in a 30-minute walk during lunch hour. I love that. So that's another thing we went over today. So in addition to exercise, getting in more movement during the day as well, and fitting in your exercise on your lunch break is an amazing thing to do, because I know sometimes with our schedules, we know we might end up skipping our exercise if we get home. So fit it in when you can and find what works best for you. That's awesome. Alrighty. Scott says he's reaching for some healthier substitutions when snacking. Awesome. And then Chuck here says stopped all food that has artificial sugar and exercise 3 to 4 days a week for over an hour and increased my water intake. So those are some amazing habits that you've built, Jack. That's quite a few. Excellent job. All right. And then Pamela said, what are some examples of realistic goals? Really, really good question, Pamela. Feel free to send me an email too. So if I can definitely help you out if you have some more questions about your goals, and if you want to make sure that they're going to kind of be more realistic for you, because we know that's so important to have goals that set us up for success. But the big thing you want to focus on, again, with that SMART acronym, that's what's going to help you to set the best goals. So you want to focus on those goals being specific, measurable, attainable for you, realistic, and timely or time bound. So using that, feel free to email me too, and we can help you out along the way. All right. Awesome. And then see, Denise says here, when can I eat an afternoon snack to give some energy? Yeah, Denise, so ultimately, okay, we do want you eating about every 3 to 4 hours during the day. So if you are following G plans, this can vary just a little bit, but for the most part, what you'll see is that you're going to have generally 3 meals and about 3 snacks a day, so that has you eating at those regular intervals. Got it. And then when it comes to what to eat, for the afternoon snack for energy specifically. Again, I would say you want to focus on it being nice and balanced. So again, we do want some protein. We want carbohydrates, fats, and so we want that snack to be nice and balanced. On your G plans, if you're following your meal plan, you're going to see a lot of the time that's going to be a portion of a fruit and a nut or a nut butter. So sticking to those more whole foods based options and nice and balanced snack, that will definitely help to give you some energy. All right. And then Kimmy says, I've had some stomach issues here recently, and I found that I'm not tolerating nuts right now. Kimmy, please feel free, send me an email. I can definitely talk with you a little more on that and some other changes you could make, things you could substitute that would work a little better for you right now. So feel free to reach out to me. We can talk about that. All right. Well, this does bring me to the end of our presentation today. I do see a question here actually with Mary coming in. She said, what do I think about intermittent fasting? Is it a healthy habit? I would encourage you actually, Mary, if you go to, so looking at our YouTube page, on the tabs at the top, there's a live tab. Click on that live tab, and then that's going to show you all of the past nutrition masterclasses. And I do have a past one that covers intermittent fasting. So it's going to go more in detail kind of on the why behind why we might not suggest that might be the best idea. So I would definitely say check that out. Let me know if you have some other questions, but yeah, as a whole, would not recommend it, again, because some of those changes with fasting, they're going to be kind of tough to maintain over a longer period of time. So it could be not as sustainable, as well as there's a little more information when it comes to hormones for women, and other factors that might not be the best idea. So again, kind of covered today some of those key factors that have been shown in those that maintain their weight long term. And one of the big ones for that is eating meals frequently through the day. So again, let me know. Feel free to reach out through email if you have some other questions. But this is the end of our presentation today. We'll be back, of course, next week at each Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm here with a new topic. So hope to see you next week, and hope you have a great rest of your day.